We are live. Okay, well, welcome everyone. I am so excited to be here tonight. This is our first time leading an overview together. And just one of the most amazing parts of the business is you get to meet some amazing human beings that you get to collaborate with and get inspired by. So I'm going to pass it over to you and let you introduce yourself. And then we're going to share a few of our favorite products and then a few favorite aspects of the business as well.
For sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Janine Davies, and I'd like to welcome you all over to watch this overview with us. We are so excited because this is true to our hearts. This has changed our life immensely. And so, again, I'm a mom of three, twin boys, one being having cerebral palsy, special needs. I am a wife, and I got introduced into Tranont about a year and a half ago, a little bit over a year and a half ago, and with one of my friends in a previous company, in a makeup company, makeup and skincare company, and I just noticed how she was so happy. She was so exuberant with the products and with the business itself. And I've always been into health due to my son. And so I was always drawn to a different way of looking at our health, like different way I can help. I can help not only myself but my son. That's huge, right? So I looked into these products. I looked into the company, and I went feet first, like head first, whatever. I just jumped in because I could see the potential. And so I bought the big pack. I bought a gold pack, I believe. And I started loving this business. I mean, oh my goodness. I have not looked back. I just absolutely love it. So I appreciate you all watching, and so many good things are going to come. We're going to experience, we're going to talk a little bit about the products. We're going to talk a little bit about the company itself and the business opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And I love learning more about each other. This is so awesome. So I will introduce myself. My name is Benny Martin. I live here in Victoria, BC on Vancouver Island. And if you have never been to Vancouver Island, it is one of the most beautiful places. I'm a single mom of one rambunctious 8-year-old boy named Maverick. In fact, you may see him dart past the screen, hopefully not, because he should be in bed at any time. And people always ask me about his name. And indeed, he was named after Top Gun, and he lives up to the name, let me tell you. So that is actually the reason I kind of started on my health journey, was being a mom and then being a single mom, just wanting to lean into my self-care, my self-love, as well as my son Maverick had bowel surgery when he was 4 months old. And I had to be really diligent on the products that I was using. So clean eating. And then I discovered the supplements. So I started with the business about a year ago. My partner Trent is actually on here as well. And that is one of the aspects when we talk about the business that I just love. And I came here for our Glow Collagen because I fell in love with it. But I also love so many other products. So I think tonight we want to maybe talk about some of our other products that we've newly discovered. And I think the one we want to start with is our Enrich. So when everybody always is coming into the business, I always tell them, Enrich is the cornerstone of health, your digestion. This is a full spectrum digestive enzyme. It's going to help break down your fats, your carbs, your sugars, your proteins. And then it also has a stabilized pre and probiotic in it. So when we think about gut health, we talk about that gut brain axis. So not only is it going to help with your digestion, your gut health, but also your mental health, your hormone health, and so many other things. And one of the things I love about this is so many different people have different experiences with it. So I'll maybe just share what I love about it, and then I'll pass it over to you. And then I think we might get Trent to share his as well. So this was introduced to me. I was on an overview like this, heard about it, and thought of my partner, Trent, who has heartburn, and he's going to share that. But then I started using the Enrich, and I have been gluten intolerant since my 20s. And it just kind of kept getting worse to the point where, I'm sitting there poolside in Disneyland with my nieces, and I decide to eat a pizza. And a couple hours later, I was crippling with pain in bed, and I missed our last day at Disney. So since these digestive enzymes have come into my life, I can now tolerate gluten. So I can go out for pizza with my son on a Friday night and come home and not have any tummy pain, which is so amazing.
That's
Um,
phenomenal.
the other thing is that my little one, he had bowel surgery. So sometimes he gets a sore tummy if he eats too much. And he also gets these like digestion hiccups before bed. So we call it magic juice. I mix it with water, and I just mix one for him with water and juice. And I put it in a little shot glass, and he just takes a shot of it, calls it his magic juice. And it has saved me so many um, days that he has not missed school, because he just bounces right out of bed and says, "I'm all good, Mom." So it just happened last Friday night. He ate one too many pieces of pizza and was like, "I can't sleep. My tummy hurts." And then I was like, magic
Oh,
juice. Yeah. So
wow, that's phenomenal, Benny. That's awesome.
yeah, so that's why I love the Enrich. Maybe Trent, do you want to share and then we'll pass it back?
I'd love to share. Thanks, Benny. Yeah, so my problem was heartburn, like Benny said. I would eat pretty much any food and I would get heartburn. Benny asked me one time when we first started dating, so like what gives you heartburn? And I just pretty much named everything I ate except for maybe water. And so, like she said, she saw the Enrich on one of the overviews and she thought of me. So she said, "Well, why don't you try it?" So I tried it. And within about a week, I was starting to feel quite a bit better, digesting better. And with about 2 weeks, I think maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks after that, we were having a triggering meal of steak and red wine. And I didn't go and get my Tums afterwards, which was amazing. And Benny noticed it first, actually. She's like, "You haven't been going for your Tums." So that was about probably 14 months ago. I haven't bought Tums since then because I haven't had any heartburn. And it's been a game changer for me. And then on top of that, I did it for the heartburn, but I also lost about 8 pounds in a week and a half. So just from getting rid of everything that was like backed up. And yeah, it was really good. And then on top of that, I think like my skin got better, my mood got better. It just makes you feel better and lighter. So it's just an amazing product. I think it's like the cornerstone of our health products in Tranont. Is if there's one I couldn't live without, this is it. 100%.
Totally agree. And I know for myself, and for my family, this is like a concept. It is absolutely amazing. So for my personal story, I have been in and out of hospital due to hormones, but also due to stomach issues. I have had multiple surgeries, all due to stomach imbalances and like just overall gut issues. I would be, and it got increasingly as I got older. And I'd go into the doctor, and I hate going to the doctor, but I went into the doctor, I'm like, I'm just doubled over in pain. And they did ultrasounds, they couldn't figure it out. And in comes Tranont with our amazing Enrich when I was introduced to it. And I've not had any stomach issues. My husband, we call him Mojo Mike for short, but he had so many intolerances that when, like for tomatoes, he'd have ketchup even or barbecue sauce, and he would be in sweating, and he couldn't have lactose like yourself, and he was lactose intolerant, couldn't have milk. But ever since this, he can have those things. He can have the ketchup. He can have the barbecue sauce. He used to be doubled over in pain too, like, but way worse than me. So bad that we were nearly taking him into a merge. But nothing has happened since he's been on these. And we will not go anywhere. Like even if we eat out, we take a little container with us for convenience sake, because we cannot go have a meal without our Enrich. And so many people, like we all know that a lot of issues stem from our gut, a lot of issues. So this is like you all, this has been a game changer for us completely. So definitely would not be without it.
And I love that our products are all plant-based, raw, whole foods. So they're safe for humans, they're safe for our kids, as well as our pets. So I know some people actually give this to their pet if they get into chocolate or garbage or things like that. So these supplements are amazing. Next, I think we should go to Optimize. So this is one that I have more recently fallen in love with. The glow has helped with my overall joint pain, my feet, my hips, my hair, my nails, my skin. But Optimize, this is our proteolytic enzyme. So it's going to be like a Pac-Man on all that rogue protein and inflammation in your body. So first, one of my team members, Leah, who had been in a car accident about 4 or 5 years ago, she started the Optimize because she was looking at the ingredients and thought, wow, this might help. And 5 days on our Optimize, and she was able to exercise with no pain for the first time since her accident. She also noticed that her seasonal allergies were not nearly as bad as they usually were. So that definitely caught my attention. And so I started taking this if I power washed and I, kind of knew that I was going to be sore the next day. I love getting a deep tissue massage as my self-care. And I would be sore for days, like 3-4 days after my massage. It would feel like somebody beat me up, but I kind of, in a good way, I would be loosened up. But now I take Optimize before bed. And I wake up after that massage and it doesn't feel like anybody kind of beat me up the next day. I know it's so awesome. So this one is great. It's great for a post-workout. It's great. I know Candace's husband uses this for golf and he no longer has arthritis. Anything you want to add to that one?
Actually, for my husband, from my husband's side, not so much for me, but my husband has chronic regional pain. He was in an accident at work and twisted his thumb right around, and so he has that pain going all the way up his arm, and he loves Optimize. So the Optimize, when it's coupled with Renew, we haven't talked about Renew yet. But Renew, it's good for nerve pain. When you couple those two, when you pair those two together, and it just like he doesn't have pain when he takes those two. He does not have that pain because it's constant. It's a constant pain. But when he pairs those two together, it really helps his nerve pain settle right down to barely nothing.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Well, that brings us right to Renew. So Renew is our high antioxidant complex vitamin E. This is absolutely amazing. It comes from the annatto tree in the Amazon. One of our advisory board members, are you holding up right there? I love it. Dr. Barry Tan, he wrote an entire book on the truth of vitamin E, all about how this supplement works. I've heard it for hormone health, but I would love to hear more about what you have to say about it.
Renew is one of my favorite products, and I'll tell you why. I have been struggling, like I was telling you previously, with my hormone health. This is huge for me. It has helped me stop, like I had, so I guess I've been taking birth, I've had a lot of, time of the month issues, okay, since I was 11. I've been put on birth control pills since I was 11 all the way to age 25. So that plays havoc with your system. I have been, like with my twins, when I had my twins, I had to be bedridden. I had fibroids on my uterus. They caused pain. I've had absolutely no issue, like so many issues, all the issues because of hormones. Even going into my later years with menopause, I had to, because I was I was basically so lack of iron, I guess, because I kept on, it was just, I only had about 3 days grace every month. 3 days grace. And it was just insane. And I was continually in and out of hospital. I mean, there's lots of pictures. But when I started, they had to do a hysterectomy because it was life or death, which I didn't want because I still wanted more babies. But I had a hysterectomy, and they said I would still have issues. I'd still have ongoing issues. So the PMS came earlier, onsetted, and hot flashes. And I mean, I'm sorry, guys, that whoever's on here, but it was just, even in a crowd, I would be like, having these hot spells and anxiety, and you name it, all that comes with it. Then I had polyps. I don't know if you, polyps on my colon. I went in for surgery for that. They took it out and they said, it's a hormone issue. We're going to take these out because they're causing a lot of issues. But it's going to come back. Most likely it'll come back. And it did. So this is last year. Last year I had Renew, and I feel like crying right now, but this is, I took this, about 4 of them, as soon as I got it, 4 of them. It stopped, like I was heavily bleeding. It stopped the bleeding dead in its tracks within a half an hour. Dead. And I've never had any more polyps. I've never had any more bleeding issues. I've never had anything like that ever since this. This has no more hot flashes, no more, like I just feel a lot more balanced. And it's
amazing.
just incredible. Like whenever someone has hormone issues, and I mean, like I said, even pairing this with Optimize for nerve pain, it does so many good things. So, and what did they say? Is it 50 times stronger than a vitamin E? Is that right, Benny?
50 times stronger than, a grocery store, basically a store brand vitamin E. So I've heard it kind of be described as like, you think of a 1G network versus a 50G network. So it's just so much more powerful. I'm curious, when do you take it? When do you take and how many?
So now I'm down to maintenance.
Okay.
So back then, last year, when I was having a lot of issues, it was 4 in a day. But that was only lasted for about a week, I'd say. And then I went down to 3. And now I'm on a maintenance of 2. So I take 2 with my breakfast. I do an intermittent fasting. So basically 11, 12, 1, anywhere in that area is my first 2 of these with my meal. Because you're supposed to take it with kind of a fatty. So I take kind of like even eggs. I take it with eggs. It works much more effective if you take it with a fatty meal.
Food.
Yeah,
That's
food. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. So amazing to hear people's stories, and when you kind of hear what it's done for you, and then when you meet people, we can just help so many more people.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you for letting me share that.
Oh my gosh, well, that's an amazing story. So the next one I wanted to talk about is our focus. And when we talk about pairing the focus, oftentimes people like that with our zest. These can be a very powerful combination. So I'll just kind of share my experience with the focus. This started because I had some team members who were having just amazing results for themselves and loved ones with mental health. And so I was on an overview, much like this, and I heard someone's story about their daughter who had crippling anxiety. And I thought of my ex-husband. So his name's Adam, and he has PTSD, depression, anxiety, and bipolar. And he's struggled for a very long time. And so I said, you know what, would you try this? And he said, yes, right away. And very first day, he tried the focus, and then he also had the zest. And he actually texted me from work, a smiley face, and said, this stuff is working. And my coworkers are actually asking me what's wrong because I'm in a good mood today. And then the next day, he sent me another smiley selfie. And I have to tell you, these are not the usual texts I get from him. They're usually doom and gloom, pretty negative, and he really, really struggles. So, since then, it's been helping him focus. He's producing music and being creative again. He's been able to actually go off his ADHD medication. And so I thought, well, I have anxiety and I kind of get a slump in my kind of brain power in the afternoon. So I've noticed when I take focus, I like to take it at lunch, and I feel like I can focus in the afternoon. We were also at base camp, which I think you just got back from.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if you had altitude sickness. Did you have altitude sickness?
Yeah, like a little bit. Like they kept on saying drink water. I'm like, okay, it's not enough.
Yeah, and tons of water. So I was like finding I was like falling asleep, which I didn't know why. And so I took, wrong bottle. I took focus in the afternoon, and within 20 minutes, I was able to concentrate and listen and be alert. It was really awesome.
Awesome. What a great tip.
I know, right? So if you're
awesome.
going to a place that's high in altitude, this can be amazing. If you're looking for some extra energy in the afternoon, or if you have a loved one that has any kind of mental health challenges, this combined with the zest can be a really powerful combination. And the focus is a vitamin B complex, and then it also has lion's mane mushroom in it. So one of the things I love about our products is we have advanced technologies and proprietary formulas. So there is nothing else like this out there that has all the ingredients in it to make it just really work well for people. So if you Google lion's mane mushroom, you are going to find all different health benefits of that.
For
So
sure.
this one is a new favorite. And then I have to tell you, a more recent one was I got a phone call from my son. So there I am sitting in my Jeep, and the phone rings, and it is the school. And I think to myself, oh gosh, he's either hurt or in trouble. And I kind of was hoping he was hurt because there's nothing like going into a teacher meeting for your son. And this has been an ongoing thing for us every year. November comes around and I get the phone call. He's not focusing and doing his work in school. And he just has a very creative mind, probably ADHD like his dad. And so the very next day, I was like, I'm going to try focus. We had a meeting with the teacher the next week. I've been mixing it in with a chocolate smoothie for his breakfast every morning. I went in for my meeting with the teacher last Tuesday, and she said, I actually don't know what to tell you because he's doing his work every day now. And I said, well, I've started him on this supplement. I also cut back screen time. And so we have been doing that every morning, every school day morning. And I can actually notice a difference. Like on the weekends, he's the kind of kid that like goes to put on his shoes and finds a basketball and then 10 minutes later. So I've really noticed a difference with him, and I love his creative mind, but this just has him be able to sit and actually finish his schoolwork.
Right on. That is
Yeah.
excellent. Oh, just especially as a mom, that must make your heart so glad.
And when we
That
find a natural
yes,
supplement that's going to like
yes,
help with our family members, that is what I would always choose. So now we are all on focus in our family. And the cool thing is it kind of does something different for all of us.
it does. It does. Yeah, it
I
all
just
depends.
started it today or yesterday.
Oh, is that right? Wow. How
Yeah,
many?
I did. And I'll be honest, I've been more focused. I work at a computer all day staring at a screen. So I've been a lot more focused on the work I've been doing. And it's awesome. I
Oh,
love it.
that's terrific to hear. That is really good to hear. I actually myself, I'm ADD, anxiety, ADD. And so I have to have my focus. I've noticed such a difference in getting things done and like focus, the name.
Right? I love it.
um, yeah, and paired with the sister or the brother of Zest is Mojo.
Yeah.
And I love a Mojo. Both Mikey and I love Mojo. That really helps. And sometimes Mikey would get a nice and flush because of that nice and in there. But there's nothing to worry about. That's actually good for us because it opens up the capillaries, right? To have that more blood flow. So sometimes, you feel like, oh, you're getting more of a redness and itchiness, but that's just pushing that blood to the surface. So it's a really good thing, and it's lifted up my mood. I feel energized. I can do more things. And if I don't have my mojo in the morning, I go through withdrawals, like serious withdrawals. So
I got a text from Mr. Trent Hartman this morning saying, I'm on my last scoop of mojo.
no,
It
oh
was a
no.
sad, sad morning. I love the coffee. I've got
Yes.
some of the hot chocolate stuff too, so I'm making mochas with regular coffee in that. But
Well, at least you got
um,
that. Yeah.
I've got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we talked about the zest yet at all?
No, do you want to talk about the zest?
I do because so my son, he's ADHD as well, and he's had some issues in schools. He's not always happy when he gets there in the morning. And for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been giving him like maybe like a third or a quarter scoop of zest mixed with a bit of Gatorade in a hot cup. He likes to drink it warm before school. And his teacher said he's had amazing weeks for the last 3 weeks. And the school, God, not the counselor, but the lady that's in helping with kids that are have ADHD and troubles. She came up to me today after school and she said, like, what have you been doing? Because he's been so amazing lately. And I didn't tell you this yet, Benny, but that happened to
I
me
know.
today.
This is breaking.
And
I haven't even heard it
it
yet.
is breaking news. So I think there's a lady that we met at my neighbor's party last summer he was
Mhm.
playing chess with her son. Is that lady? So she came right up to me at the end of the day at school and said that. So it's it's really cool. It just boosts your mood, and like he gets the energy in the morning and just does awesome. So
The
Oh my
very first time his son had zest, we were on a family hike and he was in a particularly challenging mood. And we were all trying to cross this log to get across a river. So one of the things you might not know about us is we love being in the outdoors and
Oh,
adventures.
I see it. I see it all
Yeah.
the time.
But sometimes our children are not as enthusiastic. So literally he had a few sips of the zest and all of us, everyone was just like, what happened? He is in such a good mood. And he even said to you that day, Trent, I don't know if I've ever felt this happy in a long time. And this is from a 9-year-old. So that's pretty.
yeah,
That's incredible.
And on the way back, so on the way there, it was a mission to just get him across this log. And on the way back, we were like, I think we found a way to detour it. And he's like, no, I want to go across the log. He just went across it with gusto, and we were just all a little thrown back. So
I love
awesome
it.
that we can find these solutions for the whole family. So why don't we now kind of move to the business side of things? We kind of mentioned a few of our favorite things that we love about the business, but why don't we just kind of both share kind of our favorite things? So I love that everyone comes into the company with a little bit of a different story. My background is actually social work. I was in social services for 10 years and experiential education. And I worked with children and families in outdoor settings. Loved what I did, but it wasn't flexible. So my son was in and out of the hospital his first year. I needed something more flexible. So I've been in the direct sales space now. I kind of was one of those people who it found me at the time that I needed it. And then for me, I was, we change, we find new things. And once I found that collagen, I was ready for something new and I was ready for a more abundant opportunity. So I found Tranont and I hit the emerald position in I think my first 5 months here. And I don't say that to impress, but just impress upon anyone who's watching that that was my biggest paycheck in my 8-year career. I'm a single parent, so is Trent. So a year ago, financial situation looked a lot different than it does today. I can afford private tutoring for my son. He's in soccer. I was able to pay for summer camps with cash. Trent and I are able to go on date nights to actual restaurants. And not only that, but you can double dip in our company. So I hold an emerald position. Trent holds a ruby position. He is a full-time drafter, no experience in sales or network marketing. And then one of the other perks of the business is that we both have Jeeps. So we got Jeeps. We kind of dug into the business December last year and had Jeeps before the new year. So we've had our Jeeps. It's almost 1 year anniversary. I cannot believe it. It's the nicest cars we've both ever driven. And it has been a wild, awesome adventure. So that is what I love about the business. I'd love to hear a little bit about your business journey and what you love.
Okay, well, I come from a very corporate world where, like, I went into management, like first retail, then management, a lot of banking experience. Um, and in fact, my water broke while I was standing there with my twins. And then I went into supervising role. I did a supervisor role of 3 different areas, lots of responsibility with nurses in the interior health industry, just because of that same health aspect. But what had happened was my son would come in and he'd ask to see me, and I had appointments booked up to here, and like, Mom, it's an emergency. I feel like I'm having a seizure, because he had a lot of seizures was growing up here. And this was just recent, like before. And I'm like, you know what? I love my job. I really did love my job, but I had to seriously think of I had to be home for my son because of the seizures. He had grand mal seizures, very scary when someone goes through that. And I wanted to be there for him. I didn't want someone to watch him, and he has a grand mal seizure. So I quit that and always tried to look for something that I could work from home. So like I said, I was in that skincare, makeup and skincare company but it never really was exactly what I was looking for. It wasn't that health aspect of it, to help others, to help my son, to help others. And then when Tranont came around, I was like, this is it. I'm home. So I did start taking the products, but I never really started till a few months later. And then I started, like, wow, I can see the results. So shame on me for not starting sooner. But once I did, I reached a Ruby position in the company in last December. And I have such a wonderful team. And then from Ruby, I reached Ruby 5 times. And then I hit Sapphire this last month. So this has been a dream come true for me, because not only am I getting compensation just for sharing what I love, but also, I'm getting the health benefits. My husband's getting the health benefits. But yes, I have a Jeep too. And just December too, December, I got my Jeep Cherokee, and I put a wrap on it. Like, shows the different colors, like purple and yellow. And yeah, it's blue. Like my Jeep is regularly blue, but in the front, it's got that wrap. And it really stands out to people. So I've got the signs on the side, and everybody's like, wow, like, it stands out to people. And I love it just for the fact that this company, the owners that I've met personally, so humble, so kind, and so generous, have given us this opportunity to pay for a Jeep stipend, right? Every month, even when it's paid off, even when that Jeep is paid off, they still will give you that. Like, wow, what other company does that? It's incredible. And the people I've met, like, look, I would never have met you and Trent if it wasn't for this company. I have met such wonderful, heartwarming people. People on my team, customers alike. I just absolutely love the connections. And that's what this is all about, right? It's connecting with people and trying to help them.
I love it so much. And I can remember when we were in Vancouver and your husband, Mojo Mike, stood up and shared his story.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, wow, those guys are awesome. So it's so amazing that we get to connect. And Trent is actually doing a men's call next week. So maybe Mojo Mike wants to connect and be on the men's call. So I also love that this business, it's not a cookie cutter. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're, you're a guy, you're a girl, if you have a finance background, social work background, teacher, we have health professionals in our company, all different people, and we just bring something different. So this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you for jumping on tonight. We also have a recording. So if you're listening tonight and there was something that you just can't wait to share with someone in your life, please reach out and we are happy to share that recording with you. And we'll see you guys again sometime soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.